once again, my RC nuts, enthusiasts, nerds, whatever you like to call yourself. Today I'm going to be talking more about the Hobbico Rise RXS255. Couple things I want to point out straight out of the gate is I like this, but I had problems with my flight board and my PWM to PPM converter, and out of all the internet I was only able to find one of each, so I bought them. So if you are considering buying one like this, consider maybe the RXS270. It's more of a 6-inch, this is a 5-inch quad, 255 millimeters from motor to motor, actually like 253 from motor to motor. I'm a noob at this, but I started, when I first got into RC, I started with quads. It was DJI, and then I went to airplanes, and then I went to surface. That's how I ended up with all these surface vehicles. But then I eventually decided, okay, I want to go back to my roots, what I started with, and that was a little over 4 years ago. And technology has changed quite a bit. This thing is awesome. I love it. It's very fun. The camera is 1000 TVL, which from everything I've read is a very high quality, not high quality, but very good camera. You get a very good image from the camera, but not many goggles support 1000 TVL. Even Fat Sharks, I believe they're only 800 TVL. I'm not exactly sure what that stands for. Like I said, I'm a noob. When you open it up, you'll have a full set of props in a bag, and you'll have 2 extra props. Personally, I never liked these props. I immediately took those props and put on a set of these 5x4 by 6. These gave me more stable flight, just overall better props. But since then, I still like flying with those if I'm going to just fly and I'm not going to do any acrobatics or anything. I'll be flying with those. But for acrobatics and stuff, I like these props here. And these are actually Ray Corps. They are quite strong. You get a bag of 16, so you get 4 clockwise and 4 counterclockwise of each color, yellow and black, which goes perfect with this because it's yellow and black. They're a lot stronger. They don't break as fast as these. I was told when I was given these that they just bend and then you can bend them back. Yeah, not at all. They break off right here at the center. So that's a bit of a problem. I want to measure the shaft diameter real quick. I believe it's 5 millimeter. There is a sort of a problem when it comes to getting one of these, which is a sort of almost ready to fly. Let's see. Yeah, these are 5-inch shaft motors. And that makes a difference because when you go to put on your propellers, you need a more stout. These actually have Emax 2205, I believe it is. 2204, 2300 kV motors. Very good motors. Runs BL Heli ESCs with one shot 125. All that you have to look up. I'm still learning exactly what all that is, but I've basically been told that's good stuff. But this uses a lot of proprietary equipment. As long as nothing breaks on it, you won't have any problems. But the arms are replaceable. Those are pretty prominent if you need to replace them, so that's something nice. Instead of if you break your frame, you have to buy a whole new frame. They just basically, you take off this back plate. There's 2 screws at the top, 2 screws at the bottom, and then 3 screws holding this on. It's completely modular. No soldering needed. The ESCs are actually up under this back plate. You can just unplug them and plug them back in if you fry ESC. It uses 2 millimeter male bullet connectors for the motor, so no soldering needed there. I'm actually looking at Emax RS2205 red bottoms. Just give me some more punch. These use you can use up to a 2200 milliamp hour battery, but thus far I found 1800 milliamp hour 4S is your best bet. These are Gens Ace. These are not the best batteries for this because of the C rating. It's a lower C rating. You're going to want personally a C rating of 50 C or higher, because the problem with these is when you go to do a punch out, when you give a lot of throttle, you're going to have a lot of voltage sag. And that also comes to a problem this time of year. Lipos do not like cold weather. So if your lipos are cold, they're not going to be outputting the power that you're going to need. That's when they can puff. That's when a lot of bad things can happen with lipos. And you're going to end up having to buy new ones. Thankfully, these were only $20. And these were really good just to get started flying. Yes, they work, but they're only 25C. I have 4 more coming that are better. They're Tattoo 1800 milliamp hour 75C. So you need to really look at the C rating. Another thing, you're going to have to look at a radio. When you buy this does not come with a radio. It does not come with a receiver, radio, batteries, any of that stuff. So you're going to have to look at a radio along with that. If you have a radio, yeah, this is a great starter. But I don't like the software that it's running on its flight controller. It uses a CC3D flight controller with Libra Pilot. You have to download that on your computer, and that's how you can change all the flight settings, stuff like that, your PIDs, your rates. And I'm learning all that relatively quickly. PIDs is more of a science, so that's taking a little bit longer. Personally, I have had a Spectrum DX7S for quite a while. The one thing I don't like about this is it doesn't use S-Bus. It uses serial ports. I prefer S-Bus. That's why I have a FR Sky Tyrannus X7 on order. I'm not going to be getting rid of this. I'm probably going to keep this bound to this, but I'm already looking at a flight test Gremlin, something for inside the house, a little smaller than 100 size. It's about this big. So, a little bit bigger than one of these propellers. And these propellers are actually 5x5x3. 3 blades, 5-inch diameter, and a 5-inch pitch. Pitch of a propeller basically means for every rotation, if you were to put it through a solid medium that you could spin it through, for every 1 full revolution, the propeller would move 5 inches. A 4.5, it would only move 4.5 inches. A 4, it would only move 4 inches. So, sort of like gearing. This has more of, I would say, high speed, but you're going to get less flight time with this. And it's also going to put more strain on the motors. So, you'll have to worry about that. The one thing I don't like about this is this little hatch right here. I'm still trying to figure out a way to put a strap on it. I know a strap, a battery strap. I know that sounded probably perverted. But I have this battery strap right here. Basically what I'm going to have to do is cut this right here off and then cover these sides, or just glue these little after I cut these off, glue them on, because they actually protect the flight controller, which is right through these little holes. But that's nice, but it only accepts a 45mm battery. Actually about 44mm, and I actually have some 45mm batteries, 45x50 I believe, or somewhere around there, I can't remember. So you're going to have to look at the dimensions of your batteries before you buy them. Radio systems can get expensive. A FR Sky Tyrannus, which is a very popular radio, costs about $100 to $120. Then you're going to have to look at receivers. Not a lot, like $20. Spectrum, you're looking about $40 per receiver. Right now I'm using PWM to PPM, using the converter. I'd rather just use S-Bus or serial port if you can. I have 2 of the quad race receivers, but I haven't figured out how to hook them up to this yet because most CC3D flight controllers have a 3.3 volt output, but seeing this has proprietary hardware, there is no 3.3 volt output. So you'll have to get a voltage regulator to install, add more weight. I can't remember what the weight is. It comes with, whoops. Yeah, that was my, flying and crashing many times. That was actually my video antenna that just broke. So I'm going to have to unplug my VTX, because if you fly without this, you will end up frying your video transmitter, and you'll have to replace that. So yeah, that sucks. I'll probably just peel off all this plastic and see what I can do soldering wise to get this back on. That actually sucks quite bad, but I can always buy a new one. This has a circular polarized antenna, but it doesn't bend in any way. So if you crash it upside down in any way, at first it just bent it, but now it's actually fully broken. So yeah, that's a problem. That's the problem that you just saw happen in this video. So I'm going to have to buy a new antenna, video antenna, even though I'm not, right now I'm learning line of sight flying, just learning the controls, all that good stuff. But the good thing is you can unplug the power to the video. It's right up front here, right there. Or I can just unplug it from the board right here. And I won't have to worry about anything, but that's still a bummer. I'll work on that after the video. But yeah, that sucks. That's one of the downsides of this. It doesn't come with it's right on top. So if you crash during a fall upside down, like I'd have quite a few times when I was trying to get my rates set just right. Like I said, I'm a newbie. I'm completely new at all this. Thankfully, a new antenna is only $10. So as soon as I'm done with this video, I can order a new one. And I'll probably just, I should have completely just bent off all this plastic and just exposed the antenna itself. But even then, I couldn't have guaranteed that it would have stayed in one piece. But like I said, it's fully modular. It's nice to work on, easy to work on, great for any newbie. It has a great camera up front, right up front, tilts. I believe it goes up to 30 degrees tilt. So, I mean, it'll get you in the ballpark. You have to get a pair of goggles. I had a pair of goggles that I was hoping would show up by Christmas time. Didn't show. I ended up getting an email saying they were sold out, so I just canceled on to get a pair of Fat Sharks, probably the Attitude version 4, anniversary edition. So, yeah. But it is what it is with these. Parts are going to break. That's just part of it. I mean, it's every now and then you're going to go to do a loop, a flip, roll, and you're not going to make it, especially when you're still learning, and things are going to break. I've broken many props. The green, I had 2 full sets. I've broken all those except these 2, but I've already ordered more, and I have them sitting around right back here. These are the clockwise ones. I have my counterclockwise somewhere else. I personally like those. A lot of people, oh, here's the other one. Here's the counterclockwise. I'll be doing a flying video with this. And on the back, on the bottom, I have the RC Overdose sticker from a group that I'm in. It's a great group. Has crawlers, drifters, FPVers. But as everybody probably knows, if you're into flying at all, is Trump has signed back into order the FCC regulations, meaning that if it weighs over 250 grams, you have to register. I'm still registered from early 2016, and it lasts until 2019 for me, so I don't have to worry about that. But for people looking to get into flying and stuff like that, if it weighs over 250 grams, which basically any 250 size, 210 size is going to weigh over that once it's loaded up with a battery. Yeah, that's you're going to have to register here in the U.S. At least it's not as bad as in Europe, where certain places you actually have to contact your local law enforcement, law officers, whatever, and get permission to fly. So, yeah, I mean, it's sort of a give and take thing. But that is the Rise RXS255. Like I said, I like it. I don't like this part. But that should be an easy fix. I don't know yet. I'll have to get in there. It looks like it was just soldered on initially. So, if I can just solder it back on, that should be no problem at all. Yeah, that was just soldered on. Okay, yeah, I can fix that. I thought it was actually a clean break. No, it wasn't a break. It was just breaking the solder itself. So all it is soldering copper back onto copper. But any questions, comments, hit me in the video below. I know Drone Camps, I believe, did a much better video. But this is just me, a complete noob. This is the first one I've gotten. I love it. I got it for a steal of a price. I got a full FPV setup with it. Actually 2 monitors and 2 receivers. But it's a monitor. It's not a goggle. So I can set it up on a ground station tripod and fly from there, watch it, and fly FPV. And be able to look up at any time and see it. So I'm going to leave this video and I'm going to fix this. Because that's sort of irking me now. So, thanks for watching. I'll figure out a way to get this. That's one thing I don't like is they want you to use Velcro to hold your batteries in place. That's personally not good enough for me. I want a good battery strap to hold my batteries in place. And it's hard to do it with those pieces that actually go down. So, yeah, I'm going to get to work. Thanks for watching.